What's going on, everybody? Welcome to G Miles World Podcast. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Ryan Hollins. I know you've seen him on First Take. You've seen him on NBA TV. You've seen him on Clipper games. Dude is very insightful when it comes to the NBA. We're going to be talking about James Harden and the foul calls not being called right now and the debates that are going on about the refs versus the players. And I just want to get some insight into Ryan because he's very passionate about the way these players are playing right now. You may have heard of some of the flack that he got about the Milwaukee Bucks and the Celtics and all that stuff. We're going to go through all of that right now. But first, we got to welcome in Ryan Hollins. How you doing today, brother? What's going on?
What's up, bro? Grinding, man. Grinding, man. What you been on, bro?
Look, I've been waiting for this interview. I've been tweeting you. You've been ignoring me. You've been treating me like garbage. But it's all love, bro. Like I said.
You did not tweet me, yo.
Bro, at the end of the day, I got love for you. If you don't love me the same way, it's all good. But, you know, as
bro,
you can
see, I literally just responded to your tweet. I had to go look at yours. You didn't tweet me.
Okay, bro, listen. All I'm saying is, look, bro, if you're gonna go superstar status on me because you calling games in the NBA, look, bro, I'm just saying I'm here. Like, I'm gonna always be loyal. I hope I get the same thing. But like I said, bro, you being a veteran of the NBA, do you think that, first of all, we're going to go back to game one real quick. I know you watched it. I know you saw what was going on. Dudes is butt-checking Harden. Klay Thompson is jumping into his space. With the new rules that are implemented into the NBA, do you think these refs are ignoring the fact that he's getting fouled, or do you think that they're just tired of all these NBA players crying and screaming for calls?
Well, a little bit of both. In the first thing you said in the third, and I'll acknowledge the third. So, yeah, referees are people too, bro. Like, if you're trying to do your job and somebody's fussing or, you know, making a big issue, they're people, bro. And they're going to be less likely to give you a call. Nobody wants to be shown up, and including the referees. So, you do something wild towards them where there's a moment where they could have given you the benefit of the doubt, because you got to realize about NBA, it's not like the MLB where either, you know, you're safe or you're out. You know, it's really a black and white decision. Like, there's a lot of gray area in the NBA. And also, man, to your first point, it's a different game, bro. It's harder to officiate. Playoff basketball is a lot stronger. It's a lot faster. There's nuances that change. It is literally nothing like the regular season, bro.
Okay, I got to ask a question about that because I hear a lot of people debating about that specific fact. I don't think it should matter if it's if it's the playoffs or the regular season. If it's a foul in the regular season, shouldn't it be a foul in the playoffs?
So I say that to the degree that, you know, it doesn't make it not a foul. It means that the referees are looking for different things. So as a referee, when a guy takes a shot, normally you're looking for your eyes are locked in on his arms, seeing where the shot is coming from. And then when he comes down, you're not necessarily looking at the feet. And a lot of these shooters now will literally kick you, grab you, and give you the body language of a foul where it may not have been a foul. Now, a three-pointer is a really big play to call a foul on. So you have referees that try to shy away. So what also the referees read, and this is a veteran trick that I had, is even when you foul, keep your hands straight in the air. What do? You tell the referees and you give them the notion that I didn't foul, I'm making a clean play. When in all reality, you're sliding underneath the shooter or you're taking out his space. So putting your hands in the air denotes, hey, think about it just universally. If I approach you and you put your hands in the air, it's a, hey, I don't want no problems. So that's what you're telling the referee. That's what your body language says. And the guy appears to be flopping, even though it is a foul. But for a referee, it's very hard to look at the shot and look at the feet. And maybe that's an adjustment the referees might make. With all these contested threes that go up, they may just bring a referee on to just watch feet placement. And that may be a new add to the rule, but it's too hard to do for one single referee with that speed of the game.
Okay, so let me ask you directly. We're just going to go right to it. Do you think James Harden was fouled on those plays with Klay Thompson and also Draymond Green in game one?
I want to say I wasn't for sure on all of them, but at least maybe half of them. And what's so tough about James Harden, those are game-changing plays. Because if Klay can slide up under him, you can guard James Harden. You can guard him. And literally, it's the reason that you shoot a three-point shot is because you can't be touched. You can't touch him on his feet. You can't touch him on his waist. You can't touch nowhere. Now, there is an element that James Harden does not come back down and land in his same legal spot. So there is a leg kick where the legs land in front. Where normally when I shoot, my feet wouldn't be landing forward. They should be landing essentially in the same spot that I was in.
Okay, so what you're saying is that in some cases James Harden is hard to officiate because he's initiating the contact.
Well, no, the hard thing is because he takes. Dude, for anybody else, bro, we would never dream of taking a contested three-point shot to that degree. And he's almost aggressively taking the three-point shot because it's a shot that he can make. That's what makes Harden a whole lot harder to officiate. And for a guy who shoots an aggressive three, I can't touch him. I can't come near him. Different than, maybe a post move or a drive to the basket where there is contact, you cannot touch a three-point shooter.
Okay, so you said several times throughout the year that James Harden is your MVP. Do you still feel that way, having seen the way Giannis has been playing in his games?
Absolutely, and Giannis was a little better in Game 2. They just played harder, but it's not even close.
Okay, all right.
Understand?
I agree.
He's playing against the world champs, bro. He's playing against the world champs, and as far as season, it's a regular season MVP, and to be determined with Giannis in the playoffs, regardless.
I just want to say I totally agree with that. Also, I think that the things that James Harden was able to accomplish, his team would not even be in this position if he didn't go off the way that he did. So I think that he should be the MVP. So going forward right now, I'm going to just ask you directly again, another direct question. What do you think the outcome of this series will be? Do you think that it's just a wash? The Warriors are going to win everything, or do the Rockets stand a chance?
No, I still have the Warriors favored to win it all. They just have too much experience, man. And Kevin Durant has just really, I want to say he's gotten used to his role, because last year he wasn't necessarily used to it. Not that he didn't ball out, he didn't play well, but the one thing is KD had to break old habits. So in Oklahoma City, KD was so great that he just had to go off and score against two or three defenders. Now KD has the same talent level to score against two or three defenders, but he understands how to use the spacing that the Warriors actually allow him to have. What do I mean by that? When you have Curry, you have Thompson, you have those guys on the floor, you literally take two guys completely out of the equation. They can't help. They literally have to hug their man and not leave. And for a dynamic scorer like Kevin Durant, he's gonna pick you apart, bro. And he's just gotten more efficient. 1-2 dribble, rise and shoot, can't stop him.
Okay, so with that being said, I have a very, very interesting question, because now we have to jump from James Harden to this whole KD thing. In my opinion right now, after the way that history is going to show it, because I also believe that they're going to win the championship. I don't think that anybody can beat that team in a span of 2 weeks 4 times. So when you look back at it, does Kevin Durant deserve a lot of the credit for winning those games with Golden State? Or is it like, yo, he's just there, like what you said, he's not really able to be defended the same way because he has two of the arguably the best shooters ever in NBA history. So with him going there, does that taint his legacy?
I don't think it does. I think it helped it. In fact, it magnified it. If Kevin Durant never gets an NBA championship, 10 years later, he'll be forgotten. 10 years later, your kids and your kids' kids wouldn't be like, oh, Kevin Durant. You'll be that old guy on the couch going, oh, man, he was 7 feet. He could shoot. You sound like that old dude. The fact that he's won multiple championships, he's going to be cemented in history. He's going to be a part of NBA videos that kids go back and watch and go, man, I know who Kevin Durant was. That's what championships did for Kevin Durant. And it's just part of the territory, bro. You have to play on great teams. G-Man, we have all been in situations in our life where we've literally worked our butts off. But somehow you get a better job, you drive a better car, you get a different work environment, and all of a sudden you're making more money. That doesn't mean that your grind is any different. So that's how I attribute those championships for Kevin Durant. Just now he's being rewarded with the teammates and the winning and the situations around him.
Okay, so in no way, like most people might consider it like, all right, bro, You got two of the best shooters. You got Draymond. You know, you go in there right now, your presence is, that just puts them over the hump. But again, because he has so much, I don't think that it's going to be the way that you're talking about it. If you just look at it based on championships, yeah, it's all good like that. But when you look at it from the perspective of the time that we're in right now, that doesn't seem a bit unfair that the previous commissioner wouldn't even have allowed Chris Paul to go to the Lakers because he thought that that would make him OP. And then this guy goes to the Golden State Warriors and completely revamps the NBA. That doesn't make it look kind of weird to you, bro?
Listen, for one, you have to understand that dynamic. It was a horrible trade for the Pelicans, and Stern could not make that trade. He was actually the owner, so it wasn't not allowed. He was the owner, and he had to do the right thing. Now, if that trade had been a little more luxurious or worked out better, he would have gone forth and allowed that to happen. Now, in terms of Kevin Durant, I want you to really digest this. I want you to digest this because this is the second part of my take that I want you to have. Kevin Durant will never be on Mount Rushmore. He will never be on any NBA's Mount Rushmore, okay, because of the career that he's had. You will not compare him to Michael Jordan. You will not compare him to Kobe. And you darn sure in heck better not compare him to LeBron James. Those are facts. I want you to take that, record it, remember it, and write it down. Is he a great player? Will he never be forgotten? Is he a part of NBA history? He absolutely is, bro. But I want you to know that. That's the effect. So if that's the answer you were looking for, I want you to know that.
Okay, that's a very, very aggressive take. I also agree with that, basically because of what I just said. But that might come off a bit harsh to some people that just don't understand why, if he's such an unstoppable player, and right now most people believe that he's the best player in the NBA, how could you say he'll never be on Mount Rushmore?
You easily say that because he hasn't done it by himself. The body of work hasn't been there. Now, maybe you can make it circumstantial, but if you look at Kobe Bryant, he was the common denominator even when Shaquille left. And obviously, you got to congratulate Shaquille O'Neal for being a part of those championships. Michael Jordan, the sole reason of the Bulls' dominance. There is no Scottie without Michael, and we saw that even more when Scottie went on to play on his own in Portland. He was a good player, he was a solid player, but he was never that guy. LeBron James, 9 straight NBA Finals, different coaches, different teams, different area codes. It's literally been unheard of what LeBron James has done, win or lose, as far as the championships are concerned, and in the era that he's played in. You cannot say the same individually and solely about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant arguably is one of the greatest scorers of all time. Maybe the greatest. But as far as greatest player, he has not put yourself in a debate. Now, I gave you the never tag. Why? Because I think it's very unlikely he gets into a situation, let's say New York per se, he joins up with the right players, and he goes on and wins, and he's undoubtedly the best player in that scenario. And you see a championship won. Actually, he's going to take multiple, and now we're talking about Rushmore. Really, it's not going to happen, bro. He doesn't have enough time. I don't know if the team is even in a good enough situation to give him those type of resources.
Yeah. Listen, like I said, I've spoken to a lot of people. This is a very, very brash statement that you're making. I'm pretty sure that people are going to want to talk to you about it more because when you talk about Mount Rushmore, you're talking about people that built franchises. So what you're saying logically makes sense. But again, living in the moment right now of KD, you are being blasphemous. But I agree with you. But the way that you're saying it is just like, wow, he's playing this well, and you're saying that he'll never be amongst the greats. It's kind of like a catch-22. It doesn't make any sense, but if you analyze it the way that you're saying it, it makes very, very good sense. But again, I don't know how people will digest what you're saying because it makes too much sense. Because like you're saying, with him, for me, my opinion, him going to Golden State is sort of like if Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, and Scottie Pippen were playing together and then they just got Shaquille O'Neal. Like, it doesn't make any sense that he went there, but what you're saying about the championships, that's way down the line that people will be able to remember him because he had those rings. Do you think, though, that if he were to join the New York Knicks, based on what, you know, the press is saying and certain rumors, if he joined with Kyrie Irving and won a championship, would that change your mindset about Kevin Durant?
It would have to be multiple. And that mind will absolutely be changed because then we can look at him and put him in a different role. Let me give you some food for thought. Now, I'll give you possibly a husband and a wife dynamic. No, I think that's a poor. Let me give you another simple dynamic. For instance, right now, G-Maya, you are producing this show, you are hosting this show, and you are setting everything up, and then you're going to go and promote it, and you're going to do everything, right?
Yep.
And for me, all I have to do is just fire off my takes. What I think. Boom, 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 boom. Okay?
Yep.
Somebody could look at this show and be like, man, Ryan Hollins is the greatest. Who's this G. Maya character? This guy's amazing. He's one of the best. But keep in mind, without you doing all the legwork, without you doing all the little things, without you doing all the work, this would not come out. This podcast, these words, our thoughts, our conversation would never come out. You know who you are right now? You're Steph Curry. You're the guy who can take the shot, you'll make the pass, you're going to run the offense. And now all I have to do, I'm Kevin Durant, all I have to do is worry about shooting. Right now, I cannot say confidently that Kevin Durant can play that Steph Curry role and win a championship. He cannot take the load of playmaking. And every time that Steph Curry was out, do you know how ugly and how disgraceful that the Golden State Warriors looked? Kevin Durant is great in his role. He is not that LeBron James. He's not the Michael Jordan. He's not the Kobe Bryant. He's not even the Steph Curry type of player.
Wow. Oh, listen. Well, that really just like the way you just broke that down. That's actually pretty harsh. And I think that what's going to happen is KD is going to be looking for you, bro. And you guys can probably work that out the way that NBA players should. But it's true, but it's probably just a little bit too true. And again, with the way that everything is going right now, most people don't think that he's going to ever get as much credit. I think that that's why most people are still saying that LeBron James is a better player than Kevin Durant. And that's what I want to conclude with you with. In your opinion right now, even with everything that LeBron has been doing, he's been hurt, he got injured. Do you really think right now that Kevin Durant is a better player than LeBron James?
It's not even close. LeBron James, he's head and shoulders better than Kevin Durant.
Bro, head and shoulders at 34. Bro, at 34.
Both head and shoulders.
34 years old.
The only questions we may want to throw out and say, hey, is LeBron James completely healthy? How are his knees? How's the groin? Hey man, I want you to open your ears, open those big old wide eyes of yours, and those fat lips. Okay, actually close those fat lips and listen. All right? I want you to understand that if LeBron James was on a team where you could not double team him and you couldn't help, it would be a cookout. Are you aware that LeBron James, we saw 50-point games from him this year? If he was in a situation where he said, man, you know what, LeBron? Hey, LeBron, you don't have to pass. Just go score. LeBron James might score 90 points or 80 in an NBA basketball game. LeBron James, bro, part of his game right now, is this day and age right now, is to distribute and pass and make sure everybody else is good. And if you say, you know what, LeBron? Let's take passing off your plate. You don't have to pass, bro. Just go score the basketball. He's better than Kevin Durant. Guess what? If Steph Curry goes down with an ankle injury, the Warriors are not in trouble. They still go ahead and win. There's not a beat or a thought gone. If Steph Curry goes down right now, the Warriors are screwed, bro. They are screwed.
Bro, listen. Okay, so what you're telling me right now is that Kevin Durant is not the X factor with the Warriors, possibly going to win it all again. You really just said to me that he will never be on, Mount Rushmore. So you're pretty much just saying he just has his role and he's really good at his role, and that's the only reason that the Warriors are winning games.
I mean, there's multiple reasons that the Warriors are winning games, but you cannot give the same level of respect for a guy who just has to shoot the basketball, even though he's great. And right now, the greatest in the game that we have is scoring the basketball. You cannot credit him for a full load. that you would a LeBron James that we've seen in those situations.
All right, so listen, bro, like I said, we started off with James Harden. We got all the way over here to this. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, we're going to go ahead and end this one off because we went really, really crazy. But I know that the viewers are going to want to hear more description into why you think that LeBron James is so much better than Kevin Durant. Meanwhile, it's so many other people saying that Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA. And right now, with everything that's going on, do you still consider LeBron the best player in the overall NBA or just better than KD?
Right now, it's a question of health. And I don't want to disrespect the guys like Kawhi Leonard and KD that are balling. And understand the greatest thing about the NBA players, NBA playoffs, and players, obviously, is that, you know, there's a lot of people that become prisoners of the moment. And I know from competing in the playoffs, it's literally hilarious from a player standpoint, bro. Literally one day, you're the greatest player of all time. You're this, your team, or they're championship worthy. And then the next day, you're bums. You're absolute bums. So let's not forget who LeBron James is. And understand, with LeBron James, it's a question of health, it's a question of motivation, and a question of people around him. But LeBron James individually, if you hadn't seen enough 50-point triple-doubles this season, he is enough.
Wow. All right. Well, you guys have heard it here. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to see Ryan Hollins in a lot of different places coming soon. I want to thank him very much for joining me on the podcast. Maybe if his schedule is not so hectic, we might get him on a week-to-week basis, but you know how that goes. Dudes get Hollywood and they forget where they came from. But it's all love. And I appreciate you stopping by today, man. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon, man.
Hey, bro, reply to my tweets when I hit you, my dude. Keep killing it, bro.
I appreciate you, bro. And until next time, one love.